Hello, math class. So this video is to help you figure out what did you do incorrect on your practice test that we took on Monday. Here's how I want you to do this. You don't have to redo any of the problems that you got right. You'll know if you got it right because I didn't mark anything on the problem. If I marked anything on the problem, then you have to redo that problem. You're going to do all the redo on work on the actual practice test from Monday. If you need to use a separate piece of paper, that's fine. I would like you to write in a different color from what you did the practice test originally in. So if you wrote in pencil, I want you to write in pen now. And I'd also like you to tell me in a brief sentence, what did you actually do wrong? Okay? So, and if you did not complete the practice test on Monday, you will also have to do the problems that you did not do. So here we go, starting with problem number 1. Okay, here's problem number 1. It's an addition problem. So therefore, I know that I have to have like exponents, which I already have them. They're both 3s. So I don't have to change the exponents. So the exponents are already the same. All I have to do is take the two numbers, 5.98 plus 2.56. When I use my calculator, that comes out to be 8.54 times 10 to the third. In scientific notation, in decimal notation, I would take 8.54. I would move the decimal 3 places to the right because the exponent's positive, which means move right. So my standard form answer is 8,540. So here is my scientific answer. Here is my standard answer. So if you missed number 1, you need to figure out what is it you did wrong, correct your work, change your answers, and then go on to the next problem. If it's number 2, fine that you missed, or otherwise go on to whatever the next problem is you missed. All right, here's problem number 2. It's a subtraction problem, which means I know I need to get the same exponent. Which exponent is higher, -2 or -5? -2 is higher. So this one is going to stay the same, 6.58 times 10 to the -2nd. And then in 2.69 times 10 to the -5, we know we're going to change it to 10 to the -2nd. What we have to figure out is, what are we going to change it to? Well, -2 to -5 is 3 changes. So I always move my decimal left. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 left. So it's going to be 0.00269 times 10 to the -2nd. Common mistake I saw in the practice test was you did this step right, but then because it's subtraction, you chose to add instead. So now we're going to take 6.58 minus 0.00269 on our calculators. Do not try to do decimals in your head. It goes very poorly, even for me. I got 6.57731 times 10 to the -2nd. The other kind of mistakes that I've seen on the practice test is we copy the digits wrong. We leave a digit out. We don't put the negative on the 2. We have to be careful with what we're writing down. Okay, standard notation, because my exponent is negative, I am going to move my decimal 2 places to the left. So my standard notation, and I need to make sure that you show the decimal, 0.0657731. I saw a lot of people on the practice test, they just totally didn't write the decimal. That's going to be wrong on the test. So my final answers to this problem is, here's my scientific, here's my standard form. Again, stop, figure out what you did wrong, write me a little statement, and correct your work. Okay, here's problem 3. So it's an addition problem. So we need to have the same exponent because it's addition. If I look at 5 and I look at 2, which number is higher? 5. So my first parentheses is going to stay exactly the same. You never touch the higher power. Now, the lower power, the 2, how much smaller is it than 5? Well, that would be 3. So first of all, this is going to be times 10 to the 5th because we're going to change it to the same exponent. 10 to the 5th, 10 to the 2nd, 3 changes. So we're always going to go left. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so my second number is going to change to 0.00633. Again, do not leave out any digits. Okay, I have the same exponent. I'm ready to take the two numbers and add them. Make sure you do it on the calculator. Don't try to do decimals in your head. When I added those two numbers, I got 6.75133. Again, please be careful. I see a lot of people leaving digits out. Times, we don't change the exponent. It's 10 to the 5th. There's my scientific notation. My standard notation, because my exponent's positive, I'm going to go the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my standard answer, I have no idea what I'm actually writing there. Let's try that again, is 6.75133. I need to put a comma. Some of you, when you're writing your commas, they look like decimals. Please make sure you make your decimals and your commas clear. All right, here's problem 4. Again, this is a subtraction problem, so I need to have the same exponent. Which number is higher, -4 or -2? -2 is higher, so I need to make them both have an exponent of -2. So I'm not going to touch this one. I'm going to leave this minus. So this one over here, I'm going to make sure that I change it to times 10 to the -2nd. But if it changes exponents, then I have to change the number. So -4 and -2, they're two different, and I always go left. So I move the decimal 2 places to the left, becomes 0.1868. Don't leave any digits out. I saw a lot of that on the practice test. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do on this problem is I'm going to take 0.1868 minus 5.11. When you do that on the calculator, it comes out to be -4.9232 times 10 to the -2nd. Now, a lot of you totally dropped the negative. The negative is very important. When I go to standard form in the next answer, -2 says move the decimal 2 places to the left, so I go 1, 2. So it's 0.049232, and because my scientific was negative, I need to make my decimal negative. A lot of you left out that negative. Okay, pause the problem, figure out what you did wrong, write me a little statement, and change your work. Okay, here's problem 5. Okay, now there is no addition subtraction, so that means this is multiplication. We do not need the same exponent on multiplication. We start on this problem by taking the numbers out front and we multiply them. If I use my calculator, 9.06 times 2.55, it turns out to be 23.103. Don't leave out any digits. Times 10. In multiplication, the 4 and the -2, you're going to add them because in multiplication we add the exponents. 4 plus -2 is 2. So right now my answer is 23.103 times 10 to the 2nd. But here's the problem. This number is way over 10 and the number out front has to be greater than 1 and less than 10. So I need to make this 2.3103 times 10 because I moved the decimal 1 to the left. Remember Mrs. McCoy's little chart? If you go left, you add to the exponent. If you go right, you subtract. So I went 1 left, so I need to add 1 to this exponent. So it becomes 10 to the 3rd. Now, that's my scientific notation. So now I am ready to do the standard notation. So since my exponent is +3, I'm going to move my decimal 3 places to the right, and I get 2,310.3. Make sure I can see your decimal. Okay, again, pause the problem, figure out what you did wrong, and move on to the next problem that you missed. All right, problem number 6. We're back to a subtraction problem. So I need to make it, both of them have the same exponent, which I want the higher one. The highest of -3 and -6 is -3 by 3. So I'm going to leave this as 9.563 times 10 to the -3rd. This one, I have to change it. So I know I'm going to change times 10 to the -3rd. Now, how much different is -3 and -6? Obviously, 3. So we're going to move the decimal in 6.11. We always go left. 1, 2, 3. So we have 0.00611. Okay, we have the same exponent. We're ready to do the math now. We're going to take 9.563 minus 0.00611, and of course we're going to use our calculator. When you do that math, it comes out to be 9.55689 times 10 to the -3rd. Biggest mistakes I saw in this problem was people left out digits. You didn't copy the number right off the calculator, or you didn't copy the number correctly from your work to the answer. So here's my scientific notation answer. Standard answer would be -3 says move left. So I go 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be 0.009555689. Can you leave any of those digits out? Absolutely not. Okay, here's problem 7, and because there is a fraction bar, that tells me it's division. So I take the first two numbers and I plug in my calculator and I divide them. So 18.462 divided by 2 came out to be 9.231 times 10. In division, what do you do with the exponents? You subtract them. But this negative is not the subtraction, so we have to do -6 minus -9. Add the opposite, that turns out to be 3. So there's my scientific notation answer. My standard answer, this tells me to move my decimal 3 places to the right. So my answer is 9,231. So my answer is these two. Please stop the video, figure out what you did, correct your work, write me a sentence, what happened. All right, here's number 9. Okay, we're back to subtraction. We need the same exponent. Which sign is higher? -4. So I need to change this to -4, which means I'm going to go 3 to the left. So this one stays the same. This one, I'm going to move the decimal 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be 0.009333 times 10. And don't forget to change the exponent. So here's my problem now. Now, what I'm ready to do next is, because it's subtraction, I need to take this number minus this number on my calculator. I'm not going to do it in my head. I get 5.114667. A lot of you copied those digits wrong off your calculator. Times 10 to the -4th. There's my scientific answer. My standard answer, I need to move the decimal 4 to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get 0.30, 5114667. Common mistakes I saw was we would leave out a 1 or a 6, and some of us get lazy and we don't write the decimal. So those are things that I saw as common mistakes. Again, stop the problem, figure out what your mistake was, correct your work, and write me a little sentence of what you did. Okay, problem number 10. It's not addition or subtraction. The two parentheses are next to each other, so I know it's multiplication. So I'm going to take the front number times this number. When I do that on my calculator says 49.69846 times 10. In multiplication, I add the exponents. -5 plus 3 is -2. Okay, so there's my scientific notation answer, but the problem is this number is way bigger than 10, so I can't have that answer. So I know I need to move my decimal 1 to the right, so 4.969846 times 10, and according to Mrs. McCoy, if you go left, that means you add 1 to your exponent, so that's -2 plus 1 is -1, so there's my scientific answer. My standard answer is, since my exponent here is -1, I go 1 to the left. So my standard answer is 0.4969846. Common mistakes on this one. People didn't correct this problem up here because it's bigger than 10. Other things I saw, we left out digits. Some of you, your decimal wasn't there, so I had to count it wrong. All right, last problem. 9.125 times 10 to the -7th minus 7.1245 times 10 to the -3rd, so it's subtraction. I need the same exponent. Which one's higher? -3. So I know that I need to leave this one the same. And the first one, I need to move my decimal 4 to the left because -7 is 4 different than -3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get 0.0009125 times 10 to the -3rd. Here's my new problem. What I'm going to do now is, because it's subtraction, I have to take this number minus this number on my calculator. When I do it, I get a negative number, which some of us forget are negative. So it's -7.1235875 times 10 to the -3rd. Common mistakes, people wrote down the wrong numbers. We didn't have our negative sign. Now, of course, we got to change this to standard notation. So my exponent's -3, which means I got to go 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3. So my standard answer is, first of all, I got to remember my negative. Some of you had the scientific right, but you just totally left off the negative. I need 2 zeros. Make sure you make your decimal so I can see it. 0.007123585. There is my answers. Please stop the video and figure out what you did wrong, fix your mistakes, and write me a little sentence of what you did wrong. If you're done with the practice tests and you're hearing this, next thing you need to do is talk to Mrs. Jennings about the review video that you're going to do for homework tonight. Thank you. I hope this helps. I want everybody to get a good grade on this test on Thursday.